Welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel, my friends. Today, if you're thinking about moving to San Diego, you're going to want to know some areas that are a little more budget friendly. Obviously, you know San Diego, I think we just overtook everywhere in the world. No, everywhere in the United States for the most expensive place to live. But today we're gonna get in some budget-friendly areas. So if you think about moving out here, you can consider these areas, and everything on the list today is under $1 million. We're gonna go through pros and cons of each area, what they're all about, and then hop into the map and show you a little bit about where the areas are, kind of the current price points of houses, so you get a good idea of what's going on. So let's get into it right now.
We're going to get into a bunch of neighborhoods, but some of them are cities also as a whole. The first one, though, is a neighborhood within a city, which is in Oceanside, and we're only talking about detached houses today. There are a ton of different housing options in this community called Rancho Del Oro, but we're going detached today. One of the biggest pros of all of these is the affordability, but also the amount of housing in Rancho Del Oro is the big pro. There are a ton of houses. It is one of the OG master plan communities here in North County, San Diego, and there are just a ton of homes kind of in that 15 to 18 to a little bit bigger than 2,000 square foot. So you got that affordable aspect to the housing.
One of the cons, you're living in Oceanside, but you're not near the ocean. You're not at the ocean side. It's a little further inland. Oceanside goes way far, and this is like dead set in the center. So you're not like super far from that kind of downtown happening hip area of Oceanside that's kind of up and coming. Or if you want to shoot down to Carlsbad Village, just any of those beaches up and down there as well. You're not too far, probably 15, 20 minutes, depending on where you are. Straight shots down Oceanside Boulevard, or the 76 to the north, or the, what is it? The 78 to the south. One of those freeways. Yeah. Anyways, you're a quick shot, but you're not right on the beach. Now we're back at the studio. For every neighborhood we show you today, I'm gonna hop in the map, show you where it is, and give you a little more insight so you have a better understanding of all these neighborhoods we're talking about today. And every map that we hop into today, I have the cap set at $1 million. And these are homes that have sold in the last 9 months. So you could see actually what you might get in these neighborhoods. So Rancho Del Oro is right in the northern part of Oceanside here. You can see it's pretty far up there. When we mentioned it's not close to the beach, you can see it's probably about 15 to 20 minutes away from the beach. So you're still in Oceanside, but you're not like right on the ocean. And the neighborhood, when we mentioned Ivy Ranch as well, it covers a little bit more of this neighborhood too. So this neighborhood, Rancho Del Oro, we're going to encompass a lot. Well, not a lot, but a little bit more area as well than just what we have circled here. So this central area of Oceanside is the neighborhoods we're talking about. You can see you're looking at 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,200 square foot. You get a few different floor plans, a few different sizes. 4-bed, 3-bath, just shy of 2,000 square foot. We hop into the satellite map. All of the infrastructure, everything you need as far as shopping and the stores and stuff are going to be right to the southern portion here. So this is where you're going to have a lot of the just whatever, your grocery stores, the pizza spots, a few kind of chain restaurants and whatnot. As you go north to the 76 as well, up here, this is where you're going to find a lot of the big box stores as well, Home Depots, Targets, etc. Going down the beach, you have a few options. Oceanside Boulevard here, or the 76 will bring you right to the coast. And here is that downtown Oceanside. This is where you're going to find a lot of the local spots and restaurants and little tasting rooms and coffee shops and all of that kind of fun stuff. A lot going on in the downtown Oceanside area. Next up is going to be an area just south of Rancho Del Oro in Southern Vista. It is south of the 78 freeway. It's another master plan community called Shadow Ridge. Once again, a lot of options. You have some like cool little small, like 1,000, little over like 1,200 square foot homes, 2-bed, 2-baths, like right on the golf course. And then you have some set back. But this whole area, now we don't have walkable neighborhoods in San Diego. Some we're going to bring up are, there's not even sidewalks or anything, or some we talked about in the past don't really. This area, it's all sidewalks. It's all super easy to get around. There is a little park with a few little trails, but it's not really known for hiking. But anyways, you're actually just about, even though you're in Vista, you're just about as close to the ocean as that Oceanside neighborhood that we just went. So you could just hop on the 78 freeway and shoot straight down. You're going to end right at the border of Carlsbad and Oceanside.
One of the cons about Shadow Ridge is it's all housing. So there's not a ton of infrastructure. There are a couple of shops right on the edge, and it's not that far away from a couple other spots, but there's not a ton that you can get to, like especially in walking distance of Shadow Ridge. You're not walking to a ton of restaurants and stuff like that. One extra little bonus pro is that it is close to all the breweries, kind of in that Vista corridor.
The
That we
Sycamore corridor, as
corridor.
Cassidy's branded
Yeah.
it.
Another tract neighborhood, like we mentioned, most of these homes are going to be similar in style. You do have the golf course running through the middle here, but just click it into a few 4-bed, 3-bath, just about 1,700 square foot. You have some 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,500 square foot. As you go up to the north, just under 900,000 3-bed, 3-bath, 1,800 square foot. Depending on where you are in here, some of the yards are a bit smaller. For the amenities and such, you're looking right in this central area right here, where you're going to find a grocery store and that kind of stuff. So nothing too big as far as amenities wise. If you're going to go date night, all that kind of stuff, maybe downtown Vista right here, Main Street is where you're going to find a few restaurants to check out, or the Carlsbad Village right down here. And for work wise, if you're working in the central area of San Diego, kind of down in this zone, or a little bit further south, or even downtown San Diego, you're likely going to hop on the 78 freeway and go down the 5. You can cut over here. Just this area a lot of times does get a lot of traffic because they're building a lot in San Marcos right now. So as they built out, there is a lot more congestion, definitely during rush hour times right in here.
Another community in Vista that we really like and is pretty affordable is the Foothills area of Vista, which is on kind of the northeast side of Vista. And this is like what Chris said, this is not a walkable community. I think we found the one sidewalk in a past video.
It's about 12 feet long.
Yeah, there's not a ton of walking around. There's not a ton of hiking trails, but it is big lots, a lot of space. The homes are a little bit smaller on the lots, but you just have a little bit extra breathing room around you, some cool views. It's really a pretty community in Vista.
And with that breathing room, it's not super convenient. So while you like Shadow Ridge, yes, you're going to have like some not shops. You're going to have like stores and, like your grocery store and that, like right in the center. But in this part of Vista, there's like nothing out there. You have to go into Vista. Downtown Vista is like Main Street and stuff. That's where you're going to find probably the most like local restaurants and stuff like that. Other than that, you're just out there. You got your space on your land. You have, quarter acre, half acre, third acre, whatever it might be. So you're spread out. So if you want that, this is going to be the spot for you.
Once again, if you're looking out in this area, this is the style you're looking for, where you're looking at 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,800 square foot, or you have 3-bed, 1-bath, 1,200 square foot. So these homes are a little smaller, a little bit older, but a lot of them are on bigger plots of land. But it also extends out to the surrounding areas as well. So a lot of this area is going to be similar in size, in style. You can cruise out to a few of these main roads where you will find a little bit more infrastructure. But if you, once again, date nights, all that kind of stuff, downtown Vista has been up and coming. There's a lot going on down there. This is where you're going to find some local tap rooms. This is where you're going to find some local restaurants. So we know people who live in this area of Vista, and they cruise out to this little section a lot because it's about a 10-minute drive. You're right in the heart of Vista, and you get to enjoy all of those amenities right there.
And before we hop into the next neighborhood, just want to give you a quick reminder. If you're thinking about moving out here and maybe some of these areas sparked your interest, maybe they didn't, maybe there are other areas you're eyeballing, be sure to reach out, hit us up. We're the Beach Life Group. Cassidy Lewis, Mr. Chris Erickson right here. And we got your back when making the move here in San Diego. So numbers popping up, call, text, email. Next up on the list is the neighborhood in northern San Marcos. This is like one of the only neighborhoods in northern San Marcos that you can look at a map. And if you're looking at stuff and you're like exploring and you're coming out to do your exploratory, should I move to San Diego? Do I want to check out these areas? This is one area we could send you in North San Marcos. Other than this area, you're like cruising around to like random, like we could send you to like streets and stuff. But Santa Fe Hills, master plan community, Las Posas Park, right in the middle. The school's right in the middle of the community. It's a little bit older. It's like 90s style tract family homes. So, you're not going to have no custom homes, where in some of that area of Vista we just went, you might find some custom homes, or they've been built and changed over the years, added onto.
And that might be one of the only cons of Santa Fe Hills, is that it's still just cookie cutter. There are a couple. The only difference really is there's a couple of different phases where they're kind of far apart in age. So you do have a little bit different feel. There's no HOA, which is also one of the cons. So you'll have a little bit less control over like if your neighbor landscapes their house well or any of those things. So obviously paying no HOA fee is a pro, but then there's not as much control of the kind of your neighbors, what they could do with their homes.
Right here in this section of San Marcos, you're just north of the 78 freeway. and you're on the very border. Right over here is all Vista. So you're on the far western portion of San Marcos. As we go to some of the other neighborhoods a little bit further east, that's when you start getting a little warmer. That's when you still, during those summer times, it definitely does get hotter. Right here, you're right on the edge. Yes, it's still going to get warmer than the coast, obviously, but it's not going to get as hot as those Escondidos and the Poways and such. You do have a few somewhat bigger homes, 4-bed, 3-bath, a little over 2,000 square foot. You do have 4-bed, 3-bath, just shy of 2,000 square foot. There's some new construction going on over here. Those are mostly going to be above $1 million, but it is a cool little neighborhood as well. The Central Park and school is right at this little section here. So if you're living in a lot of these areas, you can definitely walk on down that way. Infrastructure wise, down the San Marcos Boulevard is going to be kind of your main infrastructure where you're going to find those big box stores. And there's another one right off Las Postas Road where you're going to find some other big stores and whatnot that you need right in this little section too. So pretty quick little shot down there. There's some trails cruising through the central area of this little neighborhood right along the train tracks. You can go all the way from this area all the way into Vista as well. It's a nice walking / a bike route where you can hop off and on at specific areas. It goes right along the train tracks.
Next on the list, we stay in San Marcos, but we go to the southern portion. It's a neighborhood called Discovery Hills, another master plan community. Really cool infrastructure. You've got the lake there at Discovery Hills, big playground, big loop to take bikes around the lake. It's kind of a pond more than a lake, but it is right on the bubble of that $1 million mark. The smaller floor plans detached are going to be under $1 million, where you do have some larger floor plans over 2,000 square feet that are going to be a little bit over that. But it has a really good feel, really cool community feel. And it's really close now, especially because there's been some other housing built around it where there's a bunch of infrastructure kind of in a quick jump away from the neighborhood.
And I think that's also one of the biggest cons is all the infrastructure they're building around there. There's a new Kaiser Hospital right there. There's it's like one of the bigger new construction communities in San Marcos right there. There's just a lot going on. So as you're driving down Twin Oaks Road, if you're trying to get anywhere, I think once they open up Discovery, there's going to be a little bit of ease of traffic, but there's like 1,000 lights. It doesn't really take an hour, but there's not really 1,000 either, but it takes a long time to get through there just because as they're building more, people are coming through there, more people are cutting through from San Alejo, going through there, from San Marcos, getting out of there. It's just traffic. It's one of the biggest cons of this little area right here.
Right here is where Cassie said we're right on the border of that $1 million mark. While you will find some of the smaller homes that do have, just shy of 1,200 square foot for $790. You have some on the other side for a 4-bed, 3-bath, 1,834 square foot. Right in here, you do have some open space. You could cruise up on some trails up to Double Peak Park right here. There's a nice huge incline going up to there, but there's also some trails and stuff within this community as well. Here's the pond that we mentioned, Discovery Lake, but there's a paved track around here as well. All that infrastructure, when I said one of the negatives is this whole area right in the center here is all being built out. So you have some new construction. You have a big area called North City where it's already being built over here, kind of feeding into Cal State San Marcos. So you have some of that apartment style living, and there's a few restaurants, really good sushi spot over here, but they're expanding that entire project to this side of Twin Oaks as well. So as that grows, this whole area is going to be a little more congested. All of the lights that I'm mentioning are up and down Twin Oaks, and it's just like stop, 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 stop. Beautiful back here. It's a well-established neighborhood. So this little neighborhood is then you're getting into Lake San Marcos. So it's not really part of Discovery, but hey, there's going to be some options over there as well.
Next up, we're hopping right over to Escondido, and it used to be an old golf course, but there's a little area of new construction, pretty darn new construction called Canopy Grove over there. We just did a vlog on this. So if you want to go see in depth what this area is all about, go check that out because we dive into what the housing's all about and all that kind of stuff. But quickly, the pros, yes, you get some new homes. The surrounding area it used to be a golf course. So like the homes on the outside of where the golf course used to be, those are older homes. Those are going to be more affordable, a lot of single story options, which is awesome. So if you like that smaller footprint, single story homes, you have that up there.
And like Chris mentioned, there are two styles. That might be the only con of the community because they built the new development on the golf course. A lot of the original homes no longer have golf course views. They have views of homes. So it's just feels a little bit tighter than it used to back in the day when it was just green space.
Escondido Country Club is on the border of San Marcos and on the west side of the 15 freeway. up in North County, San Diego. So you have good access to the 15 freeway and the 78 freeway. Downtown San Diego is probably looking about 35 minutes away. As you go in, just to give you an idea of types of housing and what you're going to get up here. So this is where we did have, and actually this map, it does have the old golf course in here still. So you can see the old golf course right around here. And hey, look, there's some houses popping up in there. That's because this is all the brand new construction. So all of this right here, if that doesn't stop popping up, but all this space over here and over here, this is all a new neighborhood called Canopy Grove. On the outsides here, this is where you're going to find those single story homes that are more affordable than the brand new construction, but they're not all tiny. You can see you're getting almost 1,700 square foot, 3-bed, 2-bath. And here's some of the new construction, 3-bed, 4-bed, 3-bath, almost 2,200 square foot. So there's a few different neighborhoods in here that will work as well to hit under that $1 million mark.
Next up on the list is also in Escondido. It's also another area that we covered in the vlog about those neighborhoods in Escondido, and it is Harmony Grove Village. It's a really cool little master plan community, definitely tucked away. Not a ton of people know about it. It's kind of built in an area that was just open space for a very, very long time. Definitely has that small town feel. They have a great community area, and it's very walkable too. There's a ton of trails, sidewalks kind of throughout the community.
And the cons for Harmony Grove Village is, we've mentioned it a few times in these other neighborhoods, it's not super convenient. There's nothing out there. There's the 10, 12 minutes away, you do have like a big shopping center for Targets. But if you just want to do a quick run to the store, or you need to go to 7-Eleven to grab whatever, a soda pop or anything like that, are people still drinking soda pop?
I don't think anybody calls it that.
Whatever we're drinking these days, it's not right there. You're driving a little bit further out to get any of those places. And also you're tucked behind this huge hill. And so it blocks a lot of the coastal breeze. We have this coastal breeze right now. It's gorgeous. It feels so nice. But we're not in Escondido. So the con is you're going to get a little hot out there. As you get further east into San Diego, you're going to get warm. And this is kind of the start of where you start getting pretty warm.
Last neighborhood is right up here. Now we are just south of the 78 freeway, tucked away. All this area here is a lot of open space, and you will get these mountains that block some of that coastal breeze coming out from out here. So a lot of the homes that are going to hit that under $1 million mark are in the central area of this neighborhood, because as you go up the hill, this is where you get the more expensive, all these little winding hills. But all the one around the 4th of July Park right here, this is where you're going to find some of these are interesting too. These are 3-story, where the bottom story can be used as commercial as well. So 3-bed, 4-bath, almost 2,400 square foot. And then you got a few more options in here where it's just a standard 2-story, 3-bed, 3-bath, 1,700 square foot. So there are going to be some options back here. One of the biggest cons is just the location and kind of where you have access to. There's no easy shot to get down to the coast. There's a lot of houses, but it's quiet back there. As we were doing our vlog style, which you could check out, it is nice. There's some horse trails going through, but I mean, you could cruise through. Obviously, you don't have to have a horse to go on there. And then the infrastructure, as far as like where you're going to go shopping, is kind of in this area over here. About 10 minutes away. Maybe it's a little further north. I think it's right up this way as well. But that's where you're going to find your big box stores and stuff. And it's not crazy far, but like right around here, you know, if you needed to go to the store or whatever, just grab something real quick, there's nothing.
So you may have noticed that a lot of these neighborhoods are North County, kind of north of the 56. Definitely drop a comment in below if you kind of want to know what you get for under $1 million in kind of South County, not all the way South County, but south of the 56 area, and we can definitely do a video on that as well. Next up on the list is a community called Carmel Mountain Ranch, and it is probably the most convenient out of all of the communities we've talked about, and that's definitely the biggest pro. It's affordable, as all these are, but you're right next to Home Depot, Target, pretty much every amenity that you could need.
The
freeway, if you're commuting south or even northbound.
One of the downsides of Carmel Mountain Ranch is just the size of home you're going to get. All the homes that I kind of brought up, recently sold or currently active, are basically the same floor plan, where it's like 2-bedroom, 2-bath, just shy of 1,200 square foot. So the footprint of home is going to be definitely smaller than some of the other areas. If you want more bang for your buck, yeah, you're going into the Escondidos and maybe the San Marcoses and stuff. But the convenience-wise might outweigh it.
Carmel Mountain Ranch, right at the end of the 56 freeway. Super convenient because, well, yeah, you have the freeways right there too. You have the shopping corridor right here. You do have not too many options though. So all these are mostly going to be 2-bed, 2-bath, 1168. You'll see that floor plan a lot as you bump up a little bit. So from 905, you will find a few a little bit bigger, but a lot of them are going to be that same style, that same even floor plan. And then you'll get a few more different options as you get closer to the freeway. But you will find a few in this section. They're just not a ton.
The next area is Old Poway and kind of the surrounding neighborhoods directly to the west of that. And the biggest pro is there's a lot of housing in here. So out of all the areas, you're going to find probably the most options in this little section. And another benefit is you're within the Poway School District, which people moving out here, if you're doing your research and you have kids, a lot of people are searching for homes within this specific community or that feed into this school district. It's one of the higher rated school districts and one of the sought after school districts here in San Diego.
Really, the main con for Poway is that you're not coastal. So if your weekends are all going to be at the beach, Poway is probably not the spot for you. It tends to get a lot hotter depending on where you are. Anything kind of east of the 15 especially, you're going to be hot during our summer months. And most people don't know how to say it, but it is Poway, not
Poway. Poway. We get a lot of Poways. A lot of people reach out and you look at it on a map, it's Poway, but it's actually Poway. So if you're reaching out and you want to live in Poway, it's Poway. There we go.
And then when we mentioned Poway, this is the furthest east neighborhood we covered in this vlog, in this video. And it is not one specific neighborhood that's going to get you where, under that $1 million mark. You have Old Poway, which is kind of this central area here. And then you do have a few different little areas surrounding this area where you're going to find a few different options. So on this side here, you're going to find some 4-bed, 2-bath, 1,500 square foot. Down here, 4-bed, 2-bath, same floor plan. There you go. As you get over here, you're going to find a few more. This is where you're going to find the most options for under $1 million single family homes. As you're getting out there exploring, you could check out a few of these places all around where on the map, if you're looking at Google or whatever, all around this central Poway area. And then as you get to kind of the downtown area of Poway, of Old Poway, there's a big park that has a train cruise around. They have the farmers market down there as well. There's a few cool, it's like kind of feels like an old timey, old west type of village as you're cruising down the street, and you'll find like a few little shops. There's a brewery down there and a few other restaurants and whatnot to check out in this little section of Poway.
So if you're thinking about moving out to San Diego, definitely get in touch with us. It's never too early to get the conversation started. Call, text, email. And if you want to learn a little bit more about Harmony Grove Village and also that country club area, definitely check out that next video that's popping up.